right, good morning. It's 7:03 on this Tuesday, November 12th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. We welcome you. We got to say what a difference a day makes. Such a magnificent day yesterday, and today, well, a good day if you like snow, I guess. Not a whole lot of it, but enough to make you be careful driving out there today. And if you don't have to drive, I guess you just don't. We, of course, are on the air for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and they bring us a medical professional a couple of times each month. The rest of the time, we have what we call our Healthy Minute. And this morning, we want to talk about a couple of seminars here for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. A hip and knee pain seminar will be held on November 14th. Now, today is the 12th. And so this is Tuesday. That'll be Thursday. This Thursday, November 14th, 11:30 to 12:30, a free lunch provided, and this will be at the hospital at 1411 West Baddour Parkway, and you enter through the outpatient entrance, the outpatient center entrance. Space is limited, so reserve your spot, and you do so by going to VanderbiltWilsonCountyHospital.com/events, or you can call 615-443-2560. Now, that's the hip and knee pain seminar this Thursday. You can attend. It is hosted by an orthopedic surgeon, and you'll learn about surgical options that can provide relief from your joint pain. And the other one is coming up also this Thursday, November 14th, but it'll be at 5 p.m., and this is the Stroke Support Group. The Stroke Support Group always meets over at the McFarland campus in the ground floor McFarland Conference Room, and this is at 500 Park Avenue. But it will be at 5 o'clock on this Thursday, November 14th. And there's a lot of good things that can come from being a part of the Stroke Support Group. You share experiences, you exchange resources, you socialize. You can gain knowledge, of course, by listening to others, especially the medical professionals that are there, but other people who are experiencing the same problems. And, of course, there's problem solving and giving mutual support. But everybody's welcome for that. Friends and family encouraged to attend. Light refreshments will be provided. Again, space is limited for this, so go to VanderbiltWilsonCountyHospital.com/events, or you can call this number, which is a different number, 615-443-6807, different from the one for the knee and a hip and knee pain seminar. But all this provided as a public service by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, our sponsor, our advertiser here every Tuesday morning. And with that, I'm going to go to the phone, and we've got Mount Juliet City Manager Kenny Martin on the phone this morning. Kenny, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman. How you guys doing?
Oh, I think we're doing fine. We made it, no problems. And I even found my pocket knife this morning, which I had left out here yesterday. The coffee pot was empty, and I took my knife out to open up a new little packet of coffee and left it in there in the coffee room. And I looked everywhere last night for that, and I come in, and Billy says, "You left your knife here yesterday." That's a pretty good start, Kenny.
That is a good start, because most time when I do something like that, I'm thinking, it'll finally hit me at some point where I left it. Did you finally just sort of resign to the fact you've lost it and have a little bit of heartbreak, or did you just finally say, you know what, it'll turn up somewhere?
Well, how are things in Mount Juliet this morning?
They are great, and I thank you guys so much for letting me call in this morning. I had an early appointment this morning after with the traffic and the concern about the traffic, and also the interstate construction, that I might not make it back in time. So I appreciate you all letting me make the phone call. But it's all good here in Mount Juliet. The first dusting, and I don't know if that's a sign of things to come for the winter or not, but as you said earlier when we were talking, this is the perfect kind of snow to have.
Yeah, and I've known years. If you think back, there's been years when it was cold and maybe a little snow like this in November. We had most of the bad weather in December, and then come January, it was a breeze. Then, of course, other times we've had some of our very worst weather in the month of February, so you never know.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, my birthday's in March, and I always look forward to March, because I'm thinking, well, if we can just make it to March, and there has been a lot of snow, you're sort of nearing the end, and there's a certain amount of excitement when you get into March, because with spring and all coming. But yeah. I'm talking way too early about that. I know we got a lot of time to go between now and then, but When I was a kid, I was a big snow guy, but I think as an adult, most of us probably like the snow if it sticks in the grass, but not on the roads.
Well, I remember, if I can throw this out here, then maybe we'll get something more serious. But I mean, I was just a little boy, and it was a weekend. I mean, it was cold, and there was snow and ice. And the University of Tennessee was playing Kentucky, and I'm pretty sure this game was in Knoxville. And that's back when Babe Parilli was a Kentucky quarterback, probably Hank Laricella and Andy Kozar were playing for Tennessee. But anyway, there were some people here that my mother and daddy knew who were going to that game. And I mean, they couldn't believe somebody would head out for Knoxville in weather like that, how much they must like football. So anyway, it takes all kinds.
It absolutely does.
Did you have a meeting last night?
No, sir, we didn't have a meeting. Everybody had suspended the meeting so that we could enjoy spending time celebrating with our events and veterans events and recognizing them. As a matter of fact, I went to a couple myself yesterday, and so did a lot of the elected leaders of the city.
What's the latest thing you've been dealing with? I know there's been some. I've heard about a few of the issues. I don't think we've talked a whole lot about them here, but some things that kind of been on your agenda. You're working through.
Oh, absolutely. And before I do that, I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't say I want to thank all of our veterans that are out there. I know it's a day late, but I didn't get an opportunity to talk before. But thank our veterans for everything that they do. It's a very moving tribute yesterday. It's an honor to be a participant and at some of those functions. And just want to thank our veterans for everything that they do for us and all the sacrifices them and their families make for us. But as far as the city, we've got a lot of things going on. Of course, you've heard a lot about the Project Sam project, and I'll continue to call it Project Sam until the official announcement's out there. But I think a lot of people are probably already suspect of what it is. But we're very excited about that. It did pass its second reading at our last meeting, and that should bring quite a few jobs to Wilson County and also be a very nice addition to our city. That's one of the things that there's been a lot of talk about.
Has this been one of those things where you've had to do maybe a lot of scrutiny to get it just right and go through some hoops here, or it's been pretty smooth sailing?
It has been. It's been scrutinized simply because of the scale of the development. The footprint for the building is about 870-some-odd-thousand square feet, but that's 5 stories tall, so it's 3.6 or greater square footage wise. So it's a big building, and the biggest concern for the city leaders was the aesthetics of the building. What would it look like? How would it be screened? Buffer requirements, trees, and things of that nature. And not that they were concerned that it would be an ugly building, but sometimes being industrial style buildings, they're not as appealing sometimes to residents because of the scale. But they got all that worked out. And the other thing, of course, is the most important thing was traffic. Mm-hmm. So this particular development had agreed to make some improvements to not only the area immediately around this particular development on Golden Bear, but also East Division Street. I think they agreed to widen a section of road from, if people are familiar with East Division Street in the Mount Juliet section, from Old Lebanon Dirt Road east to Rutland Road, just past Golden Bear Gateway. So that way any traffic coming to and from, they'll be able to egress that site a little bit better.
Let me ask you this, because this is kind of what I'm thinking here. You're telling me about that, and they agreed to do the road and so on. Are people so desirous to come to your area that they will maybe do a lot more of that sort of thing than they would if it was maybe a more rural area or a place that maybe wasn't as desirable for them to build or move to?
Tom, that's a great question. I would say so, and the only reason is because of the proximity. Depending on the business or retail or industrial or whatever, I'd say so. Because they're so desired to be in a particular location in the country, strategically located. So I would say so. Maybe they're a little bit more willing to give sometime, but it just really depends. I think it's about the location. If it makes sense and they're in more of a rural area, they'll probably do the same. But here, because of the density, I think they understand on the front end. There's probably going to be some help if you're having an impact on traffic to try to do something with the roadway system to offset the traffic that you're adding.
Well,
I don't know if that.
yeah, I think that answers well. Now we're going to go to a break in about a minute here, but I was just thinking, as you mentioned traffic here, and about your bridge there over I-40 on Mount Juliet Road. How's that coming along?
That is still moving forward, and like anything, and rightfully so, we hear sometimes from our residents, they'll remind me. I got reminded yesterday, as a matter of fact, they said, well, no, you said this was going to be done, that was going to be done. And best laid plans, you always hope that everything will be right on schedule, but sometimes through environmental issues or engineering, and this particular case with the bridge widening, all the monies are in place. Everything's been approved at the city level, the state level, and also the federal government level. The problem that we've got right now is just working our way through the right-of-way acquisition, and sometimes that can take a little bit longer simply because you're working with landowners, and rather than using eminent domain or something like that, the city wants to go through the proper channels first, and everything's going well there. It just unfortunately sometimes takes longer than we want to. But for those looking forward to seeing the bridge widen at 40 over 40 at Mount Juliet Road, that is coming. It's going to happen. And we'll hopefully start the first quarter of 2020.
Ah, okay. So just right around the corner then, after the first of the year.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Kenny Martin is city manager for the city of Mount Juliet. He's with us this morning, and our program is presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. A break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks, Absolute Kubota and Rental Lamprey. Quality tractor implements, including cutters, finish mowers, box blades, tillers, and more. 5-year gearbox warranty. Extremely durable and well-built. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. There's still several slick spots out here this morning. Please don't get too overconfident. We've seen them spin out on some of the bridges and overpasses. Blackman Road at Trousdale Drive, South Nashville. There's just been a crash. Jefferson Street Bridge. They're trying to hurry and move that wreck right now. There's a crash. Hart Lane at Ellington Parkway. Still looks good right now. 40 East leaving Dixon County. As you come up past 840, they're headed towards Kingston Springs. Hey, Smashville Moving Company is Middle Tennessee's new moving company. Check them out, smashvillemovingcompany.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
It's a new day at Lebanon Health and Rehabilitation. Lebanon Health and Rehabilitation has experienced new leadership, a new atmosphere at the same location in the heart of Lebanon, located at 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Health and Rehabilitation is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. It's a new day at Lebanon Health Care and Rehabilitation.
Vanderbilt Health is honored to announce the newest addition to our family of hospitals, Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital in Lebanon. This hospital will provide care for Wilson County residents with the goal of improving the health and well-being of our newest community. Hospitals are for healing, new life, and recovery. They're places of innovation and learning. At the end of the day, hospitals are all about one thing: community. Thank you for welcoming us into yours. Let's do great things together.
Coleman and Company, thank you for joining us here on Tuesday morning. Our program again presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. I'm just going to remind you real quickly again of what we said in the beginning about the stroke support group meeting at 5 o'clock on this Thursday, November 14th, over at the McFarland Conference Room, 500 Park Avenue. Call, make your reservation. And the other one is the one that meets at noon on, or actually 12:30. I'm sorry, I'll get it right in a minute. 11:30 to 12:30 on Thursday. And that will be over at the main hospital there on 1411 West Purdue Parkway, the Hip and Knee Pain Seminar from 11:30 to 12:30, and lunch will be provided. Call Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, make your reservation so they'll know you're coming. Kenny Martin is with us this morning. Kenny is the city manager for the city of Mount Juliet. You've spent most of your adult life, I think, with the city of Mount Juliet. I guess you started out as a policeman, but at one time you had worked your way up to police chief, and then later on you became city manager. You probably know as much about the city of Mount Juliet as anybody down there, I would think.
Well, I've seen a lot of changes, Coleman, and thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, and I've learned from a lot of good people, before me and those people that I work with currently. Yes, sir. Started out, I was the 5th or 6th police officer, and Mount Juliet's just a little small town, and and of course, Lebanon was the big city, and it still is to me. And it's I never thought Mount Juliet would be what it is today, but I don't know that a lot of us thought in Middle Tennessee that it would be what it is today. But it shows you what a wonderful place is, filled with such good people that I can't blame people for coming all over the country to want to live in Tennessee, and even more so in Wilson County.
Well, I'm not sure I know the answer to this. Did you grow up in Mount Jude or in the Mount Jude area?
No, sir. I moved to Wilson County in 1987, and I moved to Lebanon, and I was working in Nashville, born and raised in Nashville, and had a really good job, and was making pretty good money, and I took about a 50% pay cut because I wanted to be a police officer so bad. That was my lifelong dream, and I applied at 2 places, and I knew I wanted to work in more of a rural community, and I applied at Lebanon, and I applied at Mount Juliet.
Huh.
And literally, I had been hired about 2 weeks when the city of Lebanon called and offered me a position as a police officer. But I felt loyal because I'd been offered a position from, at that time, Danny Farmer and Charles McCrary, who was my first chief, that I would stay put. And that was a hard decision, as you can imagine, because Lebanon was such a big city. They had all this neat equipment and a lot of growth and all. And in Mount Juliet, we were, like I said, that little small town, but I decided to stick with it. And I think that was a good decision for me and a blessing for me. But I did get an opportunity later on after I left my chief position to go to the city hall side of the building. I got to spend 10 years with the Lebanon Police Department in a more of a reserve capacity, and I really enjoyed that. My dreams got to come true.
Well, you gain a lot of knowledge, maybe wisdom by doing different things. Look, a variety, not doing the same thing all the time, but growing in your job and moving upward, and it takes a little ambition and drive to do that. But I think you're pretty full of ambition and drive, Kenny.
Oh, I love it. I've been so blessed, Coleman, and I can't thank our city leaders way back when, and even those today, and the citizens for allowing me to serve. And I do genuinely feel blessed. I know that sometimes sounds, cliche to some people, but there's not a day that I get up that I don't love this community more and more in this county, and I genuinely want our county to do well. Of course, I want everybody to do well, but in particular Wilson County, because I'm not the brightest guy, but I'm at least smart enough to realize that if everybody around our city is doing well and they're prospering, that's got to be a blessing, and then those folks can come to our city and vice versa. And I guess if I had a dream come true, I'd want everybody to, when I say my prayers every day, I talk about that I hope everyone's happy and healthy and prosperous. And that's the most important thing. We got to live here together and share this great world together. So why not get along?
Yeah. And you, at some point, started writing a newspaper column, and you may have done this over, at different times over the years. I don't know, but I know I see one pretty regularly now in one of our local papers.
Yes, sir, I have. I've done that for probably about 25 years, and it started just through my police department days. I am definitely not a writer. My wife, who was an English major, will tell you that. It's probably filled with grammatical errors, but I sort of write like I talk, and all it is little snippets, basically, to make people think about things. That's all it is, and it started with the Mount Juliet News years ago, and then it went into the Chronicle, and then from there it just sort of morphed into some of the other papers, and I appreciate them letting me do that. I don't get paid for it. It's entirely volunteer, and they're just old soul kind of little writings, and I'm sure it's one of those kind of things. Some people like them, some people love them, and there's probably more that hate them, but I am definitely not a writer. I just do that just as I feel like it's a little philanthropic thing of worth about 2 cents probably.
Well, it's good to see you put your thoughts in print and kind of find out what's on your mind that way. I want to bring up something else here, because I mean you've been dealing with growth. You've had all kind of businesses come to Mount Juliet, and you're still out there looking for more. But the JECDB, Joint Economic and Community Development Board, that is headquartered here in Lebanon, but you and Mount Juliet are part of that. Is I think Watertown, of course, Lebanon, and G.C. Hickson has been the man there for quite some time, but you work with them to some extent, do you not?
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely. Every day for projects like Project Sam and SEVA and FedEx and Under Armour, things of that nature. That's their specialty. Of course, Miss Tammy, with GC is an expert when it comes to that type of thing. And then Miss Tammy there, she does a lot of the retail, and they're an invaluable asset. I mean, they're working behind the scenes even when we're not, looking for opportunities for Wilson County. For me, I focus more on the retail aspect simply because our city leadership prefers, the white collar and more retail than they do the industrial. And not that we don't appreciate industrial. Project Sam is more of an industrial type use, and there's blessings for that. But our focus is a little bit different. But yes, we have a wonderful relationship with them, and they've worked wonders for this county over the years and brought lots and lots of jobs. And I know sometimes the industrial type jobs don't get the fanfare that the maybe the retail or the Class A office gets, but they're important. I mean, there has to be jobs for everybody. And there was some criticism recently, I think, that somebody had mentioned to me, which I understand. You got to get the good and the bad. They said, well, unfortunately, a lot of folks will be coming from other counties to work in Wilson County, and then they'll leave. And I said, well, the good thing about that is that I'll give you an example. My son works for Nissan in Smyrna. And I said, when he graduated college, had that opportunity not been there for him, how would he provide for his family? Where would he work? And the good thing is it's providing him a wonderful life in Mount Jewett. And his wife is a teacher in Wilson County. And we've got a granddaughter, and we got a new grandson coming in December. So if not for that opportunity, how far would he have to drive to work if there wasn't an opportunity either in our county or in adjoining county? So the people that prosper and can work in our county will hopefully, prosper in their own counties and be able to come back and spend some of that those hard-earned monies in our county.
Yeah.
Vice versa. So it's a blessing.
Well, Kenny, no one size fits all. We're all different. We're individuals, and what works well for some people doesn't necessarily work well. It's not like we're all a box of yellow pencils. So I think that has to be thought about and figured into the equation as well.
It does. You're exactly right. We're very sympathetic. We have an understanding of what our residents want in their city, and sometimes it just takes a simple explanation to explain to folks where the benefits are. And I think as long as they know the city leaders, and I can't praise them enough. I know sometimes they get the good, the bad, and the different. But in all the years I've been there, the one thing I can say is I've never seen a better group. Our city elected body is absolutely phenomenal, and they're working hard. I think the city's got somewhere close to $40 million earmarked to go to road projects, and the I-40, for example, the bridge at I-40, that's a partnership with the state. The city's paying about 50% of that, and then the city's doing all the right-of-way engineering, design work, environmental, you name it, for the Central Pike interchange at I-40 there, and also for the widening of Highway 70 from about Parkland Drive up to Golden Bear, and also the widening of South St. Jet Road. And the reason these things take some time is that you're working with state highways, and you've got lots of other issues, like I mentioned earlier, with the right-of-way and environmental issues and design and, you name it. And those things have to be done, and sometimes they just take a long time. And once the funding falls in place at the state level and with the city, then those things can move forward. But it takes years of work to get them ready to go. And I'm proud of our elected body, and I'm proud of our state senator and Mark Pody and our state representative Susan Lynn, because I know they're working extremely hard behind the scenes to try to expedite those things for us and our elected body. And sometimes we just, they can't happen soon enough. When they happen, boy, I tell you, they're mighty beneficial to us.
Kenny, I love the way you and Ray Justice and maybe some others love to throw around that Golden Bear Gateway.
Oh, yeah. It's the Golden Bear. I always think of Golden Bear, and I think of the golfer, Jack Nicklaus. And, of course, that was named in reference to our school.
Yeah.
Because that road led directly to the Mountain Jewett High School. But, now we're blessed with, new Green Hill High School coming, and, we got Wilson Central and Lebanon and Watertown. And, I never would have thought we'd had all these schools here, but that shows you the blessings of our school system and our growth that we've had here. And I tell you, so proud of our school system and all the work that they do. My wife retired after about 40 years of teaching, and her dad was a school superintendent in Cumberland County, and mom was a teacher up there as well. So education, now especially with our daughter-in-law teaching, runs big in our family. So we're very proud of that. As a matter of fact, my daughter-in-law just went to transferred to the new Gleyville Middle School.
Oh,
so proud of everything that's happening in this county, and
All right, let me tell you, we got about a minute here. But we always give you an opportunity to mention any new businesses that are about to locate, whether they're mom and pops or whatever. But you got any of them on your list this morning?
Yes, sir, I do. As a matter of fact, Music City Honda just opened. There's a new Dollar Tree coming on Lebanon Road across from Burger King. A new Taco Bell is coming. New Slim Chickens is coming, and also a restaurant called Lost Cajun. The restaurant will be coming to the Paddocks area. There's 2 new Dollar General stores coming. Capstone is a retirement community that's coming to Mount Hewitt Road. And, of course, then Project Sam. And another thing we're excited about is that we're working closely with the Wilson County School Board and school system on a piece of land that's by the Green Hill High School. And we should be closing hopefully this week on that piece of property. It's about a 2-acre site there on Lebanon Road, right by the Green Hill High School. Mm-hmm. Very excited about that. I want to thank the Wilson County government and the school system and Dr. Wright and Mickey for working so hard with us on that and everybody else. We're very excited about seeing our next fire hall coming. So you'll be hearing a whole lot more about that real soon.
All right. Want to thank you for being with us today. We appreciate you being with us each time, and we'll do it again in 2 weeks.
Appreciate you as well, my friend. Thank you.
All right. And that is City Manager Kenny Martin, and our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Remember the hip and knee pain seminar this Thursday, 11:30 to 12:30, and the stroke support group this Thursday, November 14th, 5 p.m. over at 500 Park Avenue. And that's part one of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal. Also, tire rotation is safety check. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We're still seeing people spin out on some of the bridges and overpasses out here. Please be careful. 440 westbound. It's a 65 split. That's one of the latest accidents out here. Also, they're still moving several on Briley Parkway. Still heavy traffic coming in through Wilson County, through Mount Juliet into Hermitage, but it's been moving fairly decent. Hey, Smashville Moving Company is Middle Tennessee's new moving company. Check them out online at smashvillemovingcompany.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604. Right now is a great time to step up to Exmark, the Mowers Landscape Pros Trust 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand for as little as $2,699. Step up to the new Radius, the next great zero-radius turn mower from Exmark, or go all the way up to the Exmark Laser Z, the top of the line for zero-radius turn quality. See your local Exmark dealer for complete pricing and finance details and schedule a free demo today. Stop by Absolute Kubota at 1325 West Main in Lebanon or call 615-449-6171.
Hi, everybody. It's Tommy Bryan. Tune in on Saturdays throughout the fall as Cumberland University's Phoenix takes on the very best in small college football. Cumberland closes out the regular season at Georgetown Saturday, November 16th. Kickoff at 12 noon. Join me and Bob Lee Saturdays during the college football season right here on WANT and WCOR.
Sunshine is back for your Tuesday, but so is the colder weather. Has only climbed right around the freezing mark for this afternoon. If you're going to be out and about this evening, you will need the big jacket, the scarf, and the gloves. We'll see clear skies with lows falling into the upper teens. We'll stay mainly dry through the rest of the work week. That's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Nisa Lomax.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2 here on somewhat snowy Tuesday morning. We've got
trying to make a sell over here.
we've got John Dozier with us, and you just asked a question you almost couldn't refuse to answer.
I know. He asked how old do you have to be in the independent living. I said 65. He said he's not quite there yet.
Oh,
so.
okay. Hearthside Senior Living, Retirement Assisted Living Community, and we talk about it every Tuesday at this time with Sean Dozier, who's Executive Director, and of course they're located at 215 Castlights Avenue North. Hearthside been around for quite some time. The assisted living has
been around since 1994, and of course we started the independent living homes around 2010, and we'll be completed with those here in the next couple of weeks. So all in all, it'll be one big senior living campus, which we're excited about.
What happens on a morning like this when you?
Well, on a morning like this, we're okay.
Nobody's going anywhere.
No, nobody's going anywhere. Yeah. Sometimes, if it snows too bad, I don't let people call out. When it snows, I go pick them up. So I can't cook. I can't, do everything. So I go pick people up, Coleman. So if you ever need a ride over here, let me know, because I have a 4-wheel drive, and we don't allow people to call out, whether it's housekeeping or nurses or cooks. We got to have people there. So I go pick people up. But today, no problem.
Well, really, the roads
not bad. Not too bad.
I didn't even see any ice that I could tell on the
road.
No. Just I was telling somebody, if we got to have snow, I think this is the kind.
This is exactly right. I wanted to tell you, I listened to your program yesterday, the second half, and it was really good. Those two men from World War II. Excellent program. Good radio. So I don't know how you got those on there, but they were excellent.
Dr. Stum, I had almost nothing to do with it except to say, yes, it was his idea. Both of those guys went to Cumberland and actually were roommates for a year, I think. And I
couldn't believe how well they were spoken, and their mind was well.
One is 99, one is 98.
It was very good.
Well,
it was very good.
Thank you.
Very good program. I wanted to mention yesterday we had a Veterans Day program at Hearthside, and I just wanted to mention a couple of names here. They're World War II veterans, and you may know some of them. Johnny Moore, he was in the Army. We recognized him yesterday. Earl Ledbetter, he was in the Army artillery. Cyril Cathcart, he was in the Army. All these World War II veterans. Connie Benser, she was 16 when she entered the Navy. And then Gus Bates, he was in the Army and the Air Force. So we spent a little time honoring those folks yesterday, and they're listening to me right now.
Gus Bates, and if I was going to give a Hearthside hello, I'd say hello to Gus.
Well, say hello to Gus Bates. He's probably listening to you right now.
I remember Earl Ledbetter. I think one time he had a service station here in town.
I think he did. Yeah. I think he did. Great people, and we over the years, we keep losing some of those great veterans, but it's great to have 5 or 6 still living, and we got to relive old stories and just wonderful people.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned them this morning, and of course, we're always glad to see you here, and just let everybody know what's going on with Hearthside, because as we say so many times, Hearthside Senior Living, because not only do you have assisted living, but you have your retirement.
That's right. That's right. We have our assisted living, and it's full right now, but we're still taking people on the wait list. As winter approaches, people start thinking about different options. So as you go through the holidays, as you go through the winter time, if you're thinking about assisted living, come spring, this is a great time to sort of make the rounds, tour all the communities around town to see what your options are. And we'd love to give you a tour to show you what we have. And then, of course, we have our independent living homes. As I mentioned earlier, we'll have 30 hopefully completed in the next couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, but I'm saying a couple of weeks, hoping for the best. But we're going to have 30 completed, and we're taking names for that as well, because we want people to have an option there.
A waiting list set up for both. Actually.
For both, right?
Yeah. To answer the question that we started out with here, if you want to be in assisted living, the age limit or
the age limit for the assisted living is just depending on what your diagnosis is. You can get a doctor's order for an assisted living, and you can be young for an assisted living. But for our independent retirement community, our contract says 65. Both partners have to be 65 or older.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure we've gone.
I don't think we have either. I don't think we have either.
We've enlightened somebody.
That's right.
Maybe
that's right.
People.
It's a retirement community. It's not a young person's community. It's a retirement community. Right. So 65 and older, and we're full right now, so it's a good thing.
Still got $3 meals.
$3 meals, and it's great. My heart said hello is Mike Trusty. Mike Trusty came over to eat with us on Friday for Fish Friday. I said, Mike, I'll mention your name. He was with Porter Paints for many, many years, a great golfer. A lot of people know Mike, and he said he sat with you one time at a Lions Club meeting, maybe, or maybe Rotary. Were you in Rotary?
No, it would have been Kiwanis or Lions.
Okay, so he said he knew you, but Mike Trusty.
Well, okay. Our Hearthside Hello, Mike Trusty this morning, and will that do it?
That'll do it. I'll let y'all.
Be safe, and we will see you next.
Be safe.
Tuesday.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Right. Thank you, Sean Dozier, Executive Director, Hearthside Senior Living. 21.5 before the hour, and I am very happy to have Mr. Scott Benson with us this morning from the Lebanon Special School District. Scott, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Coleman.
I saw you yesterday. I heard you yesterday, and I want to say you were the speaker for Veterans Day. The ceremony held over at the Veterans Plaza adjacent to the courthouse. And there's several good things we can talk about real quickly here. First of all, we had good weather. Now, the wind was blowing a little bit. It rattled your papers some, but you managed to hold on to them. But the rain didn't start till after it was all over. Had a great parade. We had a good ceremony, and your speech was just right. It wasn't too long. You injected some humor there, and I went over and shook your hand afterwards and told you I was proud of you. And I appreciate what you did.
I appreciate your kind words, Coleman. And yeah, it was a great day. And I talked about this yesterday several times. I'm just really proud of our community. And our community does so much for Veterans Day and the parade and the program. And we've done this for years. And it's a really big deal. And you don't see this in every community. And so really proud of my hometown and Lebanon and Wilson County.
And really, I think, and you're younger than a lot who have spoken there. That is an honor.
It is. It was quite humbling. I was talking to Bill Moss yesterday, and Bill spoke a few years ago, and Bill actually made the phone call to me asking me to do that. And I think he's on the committee there that organized the event. And we were talking yesterday before I spoke, and been attending that event for years, and it's a prideful moment and that sort of thing, but felt a little pressure yesterday being the speaker, and I never imagined in all the years that I would be the speaker. And
well, it wouldn't surprise me if they have you back one of these days.
Well, yeah. And like I said, I'm a young man. I'm 51, be 52 next month, and it was a great day, and like I said, I'm just really proud of my community.
Well, let's change horses real quick here. A little snow this morning, school starting late.
School starting late this morning, that's always a tough decision to make. I think especially the 2-hour late decision. We don't do that a lot. And looking at school districts, looking at the map this morning, I think just about everybody is 2 hours late. There are a couple that are closed now. But we were out on the roads early this morning. Jeff Atchley, he's our new transportation director, and I didn't talk to him until 4 o'clock. He texted me at 4 o'clock, and I called him right back because I had just gotten up myself. But he was out on the roads at 3:10 this morning and communicating with other folks as well. I got out about 4:05 and checked out some of the roads. There were some icy spots, Coleman. You said you didn't see a whole lot this morning. And there were some icy spots out on the roads and bridges and then even some at our schools. And so the thinking there was, as always, we want to think about safety first, and we don't want to put anybody in harm's way. It's always better to be safe than sorry. And even though it's a difficult decision, we realize that it's a hardship on parents to when we make a decision like this. But, allowing the sun to come up and for our drivers, our bus drivers to be able to see the surroundings, that's an important aspect of the decision as well. So that's why we did what we did. And
well, this doesn't affect you as far as missing a day of school.
That is correct. This will count as a day of school, a normal day of school, when you go just an hour or 2 hours late. So that does not impact that. That is correct.
Yeah. Well, when have you had a board meeting?
Well, we had one last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We got plenty to talk about today.
we can talk about it. We sure can. You want to jump right into that?
Yeah. Let's do.
Hey. Let me start with.
Well, you had a busy day yesterday.
I did. And I actually did some more work in between for the school system yesterday. But yeah, it was a busy day, good day for the Lebanon Special School District yesterday. So anyway, last night at our board meeting, we had our spotlight on students. We bring in students from different schools. Last night was Walter J. Baird. We had 3 students from Walter J. Baird. We had Nora Blevins, Clark Burchett, and Jamie Hansford. And Miss Sparkman was there, the principal at Walter J. Baird, and we're proud of the work they're doing there. And they talked about and showed off some of the different projects they've been doing. And so we're proud of those students and got to brag on them and hear from them last night. And that's always a good reminder. And I've told you this before, probably, Coleman, but that's why we invite our students into our board meeting because, we talk about the business aspect of the school district most of the time in board meetings, but it reminds us why we do what we do, and it's because of the students that we serve, the students and the families that we serve. So good moment there with the spotlight on students. We had a special recognition last night, Coleman, as well. As you well know, we're building a new school, and we had the groundbreaking a few weeks ago,
Right.
and we, about that time, announced the name of the school, Jones Brummett Elementary. Well, our committee has been working since then, our committee that we put together to finalize the mascot and the colors for the new school. And so we've had lots of conversation over the last few weeks about that, and we have settled on a mascot and colors for Jones Brummett Elementary, and we announced that last night at the board meeting. So going to announce that for the first time publicly here, other than the board meeting, here on your radio show this morning. Jones Brummett Hawks. And our school colors are emerald green and navy blue. So, but there's a little meaning behind the Hawks. An interesting story for you, Coleman. We had the online platform where members of the community could make recommendations, and we had over 300 recommendations. Now, not all of them included the mascot and colors, but many did. So Hawks came up several times throughout the process, and several times as well, if they included Hawks, several folks mentioned Gay Hawks. And do you know Gay Hawks? Gay Hawks,
yes.
a long time,
Yes.
32 years in the Lebanon Special School District. She was a teacher, Title I teacher, but a long time the instructional supervisor in the district. Just a beloved employee of the school district. And Gay retired in 2006. So our committee had a lot of conversation about that. And so the Jones Brummett Hawks, the mascot Hawks, is inspired by Gay Hawks. So we invited Gay to the board meeting last night. She had no reason why. We actually did have a reason. We weren't truthful with her when we invited her to the board meeting last night, but she came, and so she was quite surprised. We presented her with a plaque denoting her service to the district, and the plaque had the artwork for the mascot and the colors. I can show you that artwork, Coleman, here at the radio station. It's not going to help anybody out in radio land here, but we're really proud of that and glad to honor Gay.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
With the Hawks, and you can see the hawk there with the colors.
Yes.
And we don't have Hawks here around us in Lebanon. Now, I do understand that Green Hill High School in Wilson County, the brand new high school, they are the Hawks, from my understanding. But ours was inspired by Gay Hawks. And
well, I've known Gay for several
Yeah.
years. In fact, I think Bill Petty was her father up at Carthage, who also
Okay.
knew. And I am really happy to hear this.
Yeah. Our board was really pleased with that. I told them yesterday before the board meeting as well that that's what our committee had chosen, and we had several folks that had been employed, several folks in our office that have been long-time employees that know and love Gay. They attended the board meeting last night too. They were really excited about that and happy for her.
The Jones Brummett Hawks.
Correct.
Okay. We've got to take a break right here. Scott Benson, Director of Schools for the Lebanon Special School District, is with us, and we've got more to talk about after this break on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:48. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks, Absolute Kubota and Rental Land Pride. Quality tractor implements, including cutters, finish mowers, box blades, tillers, and more. 5-year gearbox warranty, extremely durable and well built. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. We're still dealing with several slick spots out here this morning. Please slow it down. Don't get too overconfident. We're looking at a wreck right now, 440 westbound off-ramp here near 65 at the split. Again, it's over to the side. Still some traffic volume coming down Ellington Parkway right now, trying to get down from the top to the bottom. The Widrig Law Firm has been voted one of the best attorneys here in Middle Tennessee, handling divorces, adoptions, child custody cases. Call Widrig Law Firm today at 417-7800. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
Head coach Mike Vrabel's in year number 2 with talent on defense.
It's intercepted! Kevin Meyer! Jarrell Casey! First John Evans! Landry with the sack!
Join us right here with the voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, and Coach Dave McGinnis.
Brought to you by Absolute Kubota Exmark, Bates Ford, Fakes and Hooker, Steve Moore Plumbing, and the Jewelers.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
Here on this cold, and it's going to be even colder maybe in the morning, but it's only going to be here for a little while. If you don't like the weather in Tennessee, stick around. That's what we always say. Scott Benson's with us, Director of Schools, and I guess we'd better get back to your board meeting last night.
Okay, we sure can. Let's see, that was...
Well, while you're looking at that again, if you just turned your radio our way, the Jones Brummett mascot and colors were named last night, and you announced it for everybody a few moments ago. But it's going to be the nickname is going to be the Hawks, and named for Gay Hawks, who was a teacher there for years. And the colors
emerald green and navy blue. Emerald green and navy blue, and they look real well together. I just showed Coleman the mascot here, the hawk, and so we were talking about that off air, the colors. It looks real nice. So anyway, at our board meeting, we conducted a few business items last night. We're going to enter into a contract with a company to electronically document the construction process. This is a fairly new process. Our maintenance director, Jerry England, came to me about this, and he had talked to a couple other school districts that had done this on some projects, and it documents every aspect of construction. To give you an example, Coleman, how this could be useful, 5 years, 10 years down the road, when Jerry and his maintenance crew go to Jones Brummett, they need to get in the ceiling or they need to dig underground for utilities or whatever they're looking for, they can go back to these documents and see where everything is located. Mm-hmm. So it could be really helpful to our maintenance crew moving forward. So that's something new for us. Like I said, we've spoken to several other districts that have done this, and we've been told by at least one district that's been doing this for a few years that they'll never build anything else that they don't document it this way. So that's pretty neat and different. We also approved a resolution last night for the Election Commission of Wilson County to call for an election for an LSSD board member next year. We'll be on the ballot for August of 20 for that's Mr. Brummett's position on the school board. So we do that about every year this time when there's an election the next year. So there'll be an election at that time for our school board. We approved some expenditures last month. We talked about this a little bit last night, but last month we approved some expenditures for some roof repairs that we didn't have in the original budget. We approved some expenditures last night for some restroom upgrades at Byers Dowdy, Sam Houston, and Walter J. Bayard. That wasn't included in our original budget, so that's why we're just now talking about that with the board. Every year we have an annual compliance report that we have to do with the Department of Ed in Nashville, and so last night the board approved that. Like I said, that's just a checklist, sort of speak, where we agree that we're in compliance with the rules and regs of the department. We approved a surplus list last night. Several items on my director's report to the board. Coleman, I'll mention this first. We've talked about this off the air, I think, several times. I don't know that you and I have ever talked about this on the air, but we're going to court Thursday of this week for the liquor by the drink case. And probably won't give you a whole lot of detail on the air on that today, but if you're...
This has to do with the city of Mount Juliet.
This has to do with the city of Mount Juliet, yes, sir. And we actually went to court, 2 or 3 years ago now, and this is the suit where Wilson County Schools, the Lebanon Special School District, are owed back taxes from the city of Mount Juliet. And so the ruling a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, at the court was that yes, that money is owed. So we're going back to court this Thursday to determine the amount. And so we have a hearing Thursday, and be interested to see how that plays out.
Oh, is there controversy about the amount?
Let's don't talk too much about that on the air. Let's don't talk too much about that on the air. Yeah, I've given you facts that are indisputable to this point. We've got a court date, so more to come on that. I'm sure we'll talk about that again at some point.
Is there any possible way this might be settled before you go to court?
That's always a possibility.
All right, okay.
Yeah, that's always a possibility. But we're closer right now than we've ever been to this court date. So. We'll see how that goes. Hey, I'll give you an update on our bus drivers. We've talked about bus drivers and lack of bus drivers, and that's an issue with school systems everywhere. We're almost in a situation where we're going to be in pretty good shape. We brought a new one on last Friday. We've got 2, maybe 3 bus drivers right now in the hopper that are training, that are really close to having their licensure and being certified. So once we get over that hump, and we're about a week or 2 away from that, we're going to be in really good shape. So we still would want to be looking for folks, if they're interested in being a driver, to be on our sub list. And
does a bus driver ever get a vacation other than the summertime?
Well, when school's off, they do, of course.
But they're expected. I mean, it's not. Okay, you just don't take a vacation in
that's right. Yeah,
school year.
Yeah, that's right. Just like teachers don't take regular vacation days because they get those within the calendar of the school year. So, but it really puts us in a hardship because life happens, Coleman, and it puts us in a hardship when because of the situation we're in when drivers get sick, and whether they get sick or they have a child that's sick and something, have a doctor's appointment or something, and that happens. That's happening today, Coleman. We've got some that are out for that reason today. So. But we're right on the brink from being in pretty good shape. So that's good news for us.
How are you as far as teachers go? Are you hiring now at all?
Actually, we posted a job yesterday. We had a resignation last week, so we've got one position posted right now. But other than that, we started the school year in really good shape with teachers. We were fully staffed at that time. So again, life happens. Things happen with folks for whatever reason. They have to relocate or move.
Well, since we're on this subject here, and since Jones Brummett will be officially opening,
right.
When is that?
August of 21. August of 21 is the start date.
A year and a half away.
Yeah, we're a completion target is spring of 21, and that'll give us the summer to move in and get situated.
But
before
then it'll kind of
August.
be a fruit basket turnover there. I mean, you're not going to hire all new teachers.
That is correct. Yeah, we would not hire because we would be taking existing students from our other elementary schools to rezone. So we would take some existing teachers from our existing schools as well. So
you've been through this before.
We have. Okay. When we opened Winfrey Bryant, we had a situation that was really a much larger scale than this will be. But yeah, we'll have new positions for the school: the principal, assistant principal, related arts teachers, PE, music, art, counselor. Those type positions will all be new. But the majority of our regular teaching staff will be from within. They'll come from within at that time.
Well, it's all part of growth and keeping up with the times and hopefully offering the best quality education available.
Absolutely,
possible.
That's what we do on a daily basis, Coleman.
We got 2.5 minutes left.
Okay, yeah, I've got a couple other things we can talk about here. I gave an update to the board as well on Jones Brummett and the progress we're making there. We've actually, before today, and I'm not sure how today will impact us, but we've had very few days interrupted by weather. So we've been moving right along with our excavation, and we've moved a lot of dirt. I don't know if you've driven by
I really
there
haven't.
lately.
I need to do
Yeah,
that.
you ought to drive by. Go to the intersection there at Hartman and Coles Ferry and look to your right if you're going away from the school district here. So we're making really good progress there, and we've got all of our contracts signed with all the other contractors for every aspect of the project. So that'll be right on target. Our construction management team is making a few adjustments and working on our timeline for when everybody will come on board for their portion of the project. But like I said, we're looking at a spring of 21 completion date there. So we're on target, moving right along. Coleman, we've had a lot of illness to this point in the school district. I updated the board on this last night. It started really at Winfrey Bryant Middle School. That was the school that was impacted the most by absentee numbers due to illness, and it sort of made its way to the feeder schools for Winfrey Bryant, which would be Byers Dowdy and Castle Heights Elementary. So we're running high numbers of absentees at those schools. The other three schools, Walter J., Coles Ferry, and Sam Houston, are actually pretty normal numbers for absentees. But we're trying to disinfect and stay on top of that and be careful. But we're watching that and keeping an eye on our attendance numbers, because, like I said, at those three schools, the one middle school in particular, numbers have been high. So
we're nearly out of time, but Thanksgiving will come before you come back again, unless something out of the ordinary happens. What's your Thanksgiving schedule?
Thanksgiving schedule. That week we will, students will go one day. Students go that Monday. Tuesday is a stockpile day for our staff, so it's going to be a day of learning for our teachers. So students will go one day that week, and teachers will go 2 days that week, and then everybody will be off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for Thanksgiving.
Right. Scott, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate your visit each time. We'll see you next month.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Scott Benson, Director of Schools for the Lebanon Special School District. That's it for a Tuesday. Join us tomorrow if you will. Till then, I wish you a terrific day.